Hello, everybody. This is Bernie Strom, and welcome to my YouTube channel for tonight's greatest middleweight champion of all time tournament. Third bout in the middleweight division. We completed the lightweight division earlier in the summer. This is number 3 seeded Carlos Monzon versus number 6 seeded Bernard Hopkins. We asked ChatGPT earlier this year to rank the top 8 lightweights, middleweights, and heavyweights, and we've decided to run a tournament with those boxers. Philip comes by. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Hope everything's well. You've had a nice Friday. Just to go over a little review, let me open up my boxing tournament file here in the lightweights. And there's a lot of files here. I hope I open the right one. Let me find it. I believe it was Whitaker and Ortiz. It's this one, right? Yep, there it is. Whitaker outpointed Ortiz to earn the championship in the lightweights, number 3 seeded Pernell Whitaker. You can find the copy of that sporting news page on my Facebook page. We get rid of that. We don't need that one anymore because we're going to go over how the tournament was set up. There it was, the greatest middleweight champion of all time tournament. Yeah, I'm fighting tonight. I'm Bernard Hopkins. I've seen about these guys fight in the 60s and 70s, and they were two great fighters. Hopkins' devastating punch. Carlos Monzon was ranked number 3. Hagler was ranked number 4. He won last week. I put Hagler above Monzon, but they were really close. They were two of the toughest fighters. One of those two guys, in my opinion, is going to win this tournament. ChatGPT ranked them as you see it there: Greb, Sugar Ray Robinson, Monzon, Hagler, Ketchel, Hopkins, Mickey Walker, and Dick Tiger. And there's the schedule. Today is the third bout of the first round, July 24th, 2026. Next Friday night, we'll do Sugar Ray Robinson and Mickey Walker, and then we'll go to the semifinals. The first fight, there's the page. Greb was disqualified, and Dick Tiger won. And Tiger was ahead on all the cards. However, Greb was just too many fouls, and he was disqualified at 153 of the 12th round. I don't think he fought very well. Of course, there was nothing for me to look at because I never saw him fight. He was fought 50 years before I was born. I saw Dick Tiger fight at the end of his career. He was good. And last week, Marvelous Marvin Hagler outpointed Stanley Ketchel. I never saw Stanley Ketchel fight. Hagler I saw fight many times. I'm surprised he didn't knock him out. But it was as you can see by the judges' scorecards, it was almost a clean sweep as Hagler beat him by more than 10 points on every scorecard. Okay, let's do a little review of the biographies of these guys, which I take out of the Ultimate Encyclopedia of Boxing by Harry Moulin. And this one says the 10th edition. I think I bought it on eBay for a couple of bucks. eBay's a great place for these sports books that are out of style because the internet put them out of commission. You can get all this stuff on the internet, so the books you can get for $4 or $5, and they'll ship them free. Carlos Monzon was born on August 7th, 1942 in Santa Fe, Argentina. He was the world middleweight champion from 1970 to 74, the WBA champion from 74 to 77, and in 77 it says world champion, so he must have held all 3 titles. He had 101 fights in his career, 89 wins. He had only 3 defeats, 8 draws, 1 no contest. And it says here for 13 years between 64 and 77, Monzon was unbeatable. He compiled an amazing undefeated run of 82 fights and set a new record for the middleweight division by making 14 defenses of his title. He took from Nino Benvenuti in 1970. I saw that fight on TV. The handsome Argentinian, that's not my words, it's the book's words, was as close to the perfect fighting machine as anyone has ever come. Tall and rangy with a long reach, a rock-hard chin, his left jab would soften up his opponents for the heavy hooks and uppercuts, which brought him 61 inside schedule victories in 101 fights. We may see a knockout tonight. He won the Argentinian title in 67, but he did not attract international attention until he held Benny Briscoe to a draw over 10 rounds later that same year. Despite his record, Monzon was still the underdog when he challenged Benvenuti in November 77. He knocked the Italian out in 12 rounds, stopped him in 3 rounds in a return bout, and he embarked on a spectacular reign. His contenders were all top drawer, and he retired in 77 when he ran out of opposition. He was later jailed for killing his mistress. A lot of these fighters had problems like that, and died in a car crash on January 8th, 1995, while on parole. I did not know that. Okay, Bernard Hopkins, who I saw fight also, and I remember he had a devastating punch. He was born in Philadelphia, PA, January 15th, 1965. He was the IBF middleweight champion from 1995 to 2005, WBA and WBC middleweight champion. Of course, now that we've got all these different champions, from 2001 to 05, and the WBO middleweight champion from 04 to 05. WBC light heavyweight title. I forgot he was the light heavyweight champion from 2011 to 12. IBF right after that, 13 to 14, and the WBA super light heavyweight champ in 2014. He had 67 fights, 55 wins, 2 draws, 2 no contests, and 8 defeats. Let's see what it says about him. In May of 2011, Hopkins became the oldest boxer to win a world title when at age 46, 4 months and 6 days, he took the WBC light heavyweight champion from Jean Pascal in Montreal, who I must not have been following boxing in those years because I don't know who he is. 2 years later, he broke his own record by outpointing Travis Cloud for the IBF light heavyweight title. Don't know who he is, having lost the WBC belt to Chad Dawson. None of those fighters I know. Hopkins added the WBA super belt with a points win over Beibut Shermanoff, another guy I don't know, in 2014. And I'm going to skip reading here because none of that interests me at all. Let's go back a little ways. A product of the Philadelphia streets, he served 5 years in jail before making a career out of boxing. After losing his debut in October 1988, only Roy Jones beat him in the next 17 years, and that's quite impressive. That was in 1993 when Jones outboxed him over 12 rounds for the IBF middleweight crown. When Jones moved up, Hopkins took over and eventually unified the 3 major titles in 2001. He had 20 successful defenses in 10 years. He lost the world title on a close disputed decision to Jermaine Taylor. Jermaine Taylor was a good fighter. The rematch, equally close, also went against him. After toying with retirement, Hopkins cemented links with De La Hoya as part of the Golden Boy promotional operation in 2006. And then he went on to be a light heavyweight. Okay, enough talking. Let's have a fight. That bang was the book I just dropped. Let me put it back. Okay, we set this up earlier tonight, so we don't have to do it now. We use Legends of Boxing 2. And in the exhibition mode, there are the 3 fights We can go back and revisit them whenever we like. Greb and Tiger, Hagler and Ketchel, and Monzon and Hopkins. Let's fight. Monzon is going to fight with pressure, and Hopkins is going to be elusive. We go 15 rounds. You can only be saved by the bell in the final round of the fight. Seconds are given in the last instructions, and there's the bell for round one. The rounds this was not a punch-by-punch game. This is a game that has a 3-minute round broken into 9 segments, and here's the first one. Bernard Hopkins takes control. First punches of the fight. Jab landed. We got a counter coming in from Monzon. And Monzon got the better of that with his counter. Into the center of the ring, the fighters go, and Hopkins wins that exchange 2-1. Hopkins still the aggressor. Hopkins has control. Here in round one, the cross lands for a point. 2 minutes to go in the round. Hopkins still in control. Scores with a jab. Monzon in control for the first time in the bout. He lands a cross, possible cut. No cut. Hopkins back in control of the round with a minute to go. Lands a jab. Here comes another counter. Second counter from Monzon, and he scores. Pretty even round. Looks like Hopkins may be slightly ahead. Referee has to separate the fighters in the center of the ring. 30 seconds to go in the round. Monzon wins that exchange in the center of the ring. And the last segment. Monzon in control will get a chance to land the last punch. And it's a combination that scores, and the bell for round one is over. Fighters go back to their respective corners. Monzon in the red corner, Hopkins in the blue. We go to the ringside unofficial scorekeeper who scored that an even round. Get a sip of water here. We'll start round two. There's the bell. Hopkins in control. He's been in control most of the fight so far. Lands an uppercut. I don't know if anybody saw it. Tyson Fury fight today. He landed a big uppercut in the 6th round, knocked out his opponent. I didn't watch the fight, just saw the highlights. Hopkins in control. Lands an uppercut to the body. Still in control. Hopkins getting all the dice rolls. Uppercut, possible cut. We roll the dice. I think we might have a cut here. No. Monzon, not cut. Center of the ring. The fighters swing and miss, so to speak. Monzon now going to be in control. Straight punch, scores a point. First point of the round with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go as they go into the center of the ring. Hopkins inside wins that exchange. Hopkins going to win this round unless Monzon can do something. Hopkins still in control with 45 seconds to go. Scores with a 2-point uppercut. Monzon needs to score. They're going to be in the center of the ring. Hopkins should take. No, look at that. They gave control to Monzon. He scored. But might not be enough. He's still in control. Center of the ring. Here comes Monzon's punch. And it's blocked, and the bell sounds for round two. Back to the corners they go. We do these Friday night fights. I used to watch Friday night fights with my brother Nathan. In the 1950s on NBC, my parents let me stay up late. I was, 8 or 9 years old, and we would watch boxing every Friday night. So late Friday nights, I've decided to do boxing, think about my brother a little bit, check the ringside unofficial scorecard. Hopkins took that round. And here's the bell for round number 3. Monzon, we haven't seen his firepower yet. He wins that exchange 3-1, and that's going to earn him a free punch in the second segment, and it could possibly be a big one. It hits the chin of Hopkins. Hopkins is stunned, and he was hurt. It's going to be some more free punches here. Here comes Monzon. Combination, and Hopkins has his wits back about him with 2 minutes to go in the round. Can he hold up? He's in control. Scores with an uppercut. Fighters in the center of the ring. Referee has to separate them. 1 minute to go in the round. Monzon in control. Scores with a 1-point cross. Monzon still in control. Scores with a hook. He's got a devastating hook. Center of the ring, the fighters are measuring everybody. They miss. Hopkins now going to get a shot at him. 15 seconds to go in the round, and he scores with a hook, and the bell sounds. Round 3 is over. That was dominated by Carlos Monzon as we check the unofficial score. As you can see, each fighter has won a round on his scorecard. Want to remind you, they are unofficial scores. Bernard Hopkins going to put a little pressure on. Monzon's going to fight from the outside. I've been sort of waiting for Monzon with his 59 KOs and 87 fights to hit. He had one good round where he hit him and stunned Hopkins. Hopkins a good puncher, but not a lot of knockouts, as you can see. 32 knockouts in 55 fights. The bell for round number 4, and Monzon is going to get the first shot at it. Punches blocked by Hopkins. Monzon still in control. Combination to the head. Center of the ring. Referee separates them. Minute 43 to go. Monzon in control. Hook misses. Counter jab. He scores. Minute and a half to go. In control. Hopkins now. Cross hits the chin of Carlos Monzon. And he was hurt. Hopkins going to get a couple of punches at this guy. Here's the first one. Hook scores a point, but Monzon recovers. Back to normal fighting in the center of the ring. Referee has to separate him. 30 seconds to go in the round. Monzon is going to be in control. 2 segments to go. Hook scores. And the last dice roll will go to Hopkins. Uppercut scores, possible cut. No cut. The round is over as the bell sounds for round number 4. I forgot to look at the scoring. Let's see who won that round. Carlos Monzon. Even though he was stunned by a Hopkins punch, the unofficial scorekeeper gave him the round. Round 5 coming up. And there's the bell. Fight is in the center of the ring. Referee separates them as they grab on to one another. Monzon now looking to land some of those big punches we've read about. He misses. Hopkins now with a shot at him with 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the round. Scores with a 1-point cross. Hopkins still in control. Two-point cross. Monzon's going to come back at him now as he's in control. The dice rolls go his way. Only can score a jab. Minute to go in the round. Hopkins back in control. Fighters are boxing, pretty even round. They're in the center of the ring, and the referee has to separate them as they grab on one another. 30 seconds to go in the round, still in the center of the ring. They're grabbing, both fighters jockeying for position, and the last roll of the round is going to be back to the snow. Thought they were going back to the center. Monzon's going to get a shot at it. And it's a straight punch, which scores to the head of Hopkins. The round is over. Close round. Might have went to Hopkins. Let's check. It did on the unofficial scorer's tabulation, who's got this fight dead even after 5 rounds. No damage on either fighter. Both fighters are unmarked. Hopkins, I don't remember Hopkins being a dirty fighter, but that's what it says. Monzon, a clean fighter. Here comes the bell, and we're in round 6. They're in the center of the ring. Both fighters throw punches, but they're blocked. Hopkins fighting from the outside, so is Monzon. They're both in the center of the ring. Jockeying for position, not much action as we're at the 2:18 mark of round number 6. Hopkins in control, gonna finally throw a punch, and he scores with a cross. Bernard Hopkins back to the center of the ring. Both fighters exchange a couple of punches. Hopkins still in control. Scores with an uppercut, possible cut. The dice roll comes in, and I don't think that's a cut. Monzon finally gets control here with only 1:16 to go. Scores with a straight to the head. Still in control. Scores with a hook. Back in control, Monzon. Can he pull this round off? Let's find out. He scores with a cross, and we're in the final segment of the round. Monzon in control. He scores here. He's going to win this round. And he scores with another cross, and the round is over. The bell sounds, ending round number 6. Neither fighter looks tired. Neither fighter has a mark on him. Unofficial scorekeeper gave that round to Monzon, as I predicted. Slight lead in the fight. Last week with Hagler, I expected a knockout. We didn't get one tonight. With Monzon, I expected one. We still don't have one. Well, you got to hit the guy to knock him out, and there's the bell. Center of the ring. We have the first foul check of the fight. It's on a dirty fighter. Let's see what happens. Marginal foul. still in the center of the ring. Fighters miss with their punches. Hopkins in control. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. Scores with an uppercut. Monzon now in control. I always expect something big when I say Monzon's in control. Straight punch scores a couple of points. Back to Hopkins we go with the dice rolls. Head body shot. Went to the body, up to the head. 2 points he scored. Center of the ring. And we have another foul check on Hopkins. Incidental foul, no contact, no foul. Hopkins in control. Seems to be going his way with the dice rolls tonight. But he is not winning. Uppercut scores. We got a cut possible. And it is not going to have a cut. Monzon must not have cut easily. 30 seconds to go. We find the fighters in the center of the ring. Hopkins wins that exchange 2-1. Hopkins going to win this round unless Monzon can knock him down at the end here in the 9th segment. Foul check on Monzon. Marginal foul. Okay. Everybody's got a marginal foul. Round is over. Unofficially, Hopkins wins the round, back to being tied on his scorecard. We are almost halfway through the fight. We are 7.5 rounds. We will be in another minute and a half. Bell for round number 8 sounds. Fighters, one's fighting inside, that's Hopkins. One fighting outside, that's Monzon. Possible cut on the cross. And there is no cut, still no marks on either fighter. Monzon in control. Misses. 3rd segment, 2:12 to go in the round. In control, Bernard Hopkins. Body head combo scores again. Dice roll goes back to Monzon. 2 minutes to go in the round. Scores with a straight to the body. Monzon still in control. Scores with a straight right. The center of the ring, both fighters sizing everybody up. They each exchange a punch. 53 seconds to go, round number 8. Hopkins looking to score more. He scores with a hook. Both fighters have been stunned once. Hopkins still in control. The hook is missed. 13 seconds to go in the round. They'll be in the center of the ring. There they go. And the 2-2 flurry occurs as the bell sounds, ending round number 8 in what looks to be an even round. And they gave it to Monzon, 10-9, slightly ahead. Hopkins going to continue to fight inside when Monzon going to put some pressure on him as we head into the second half of the fight. Both fighters in the center of the ring missing punches. Hopkins in control. Combination to the head. Hopkins is not winning, but to me, it seems like he's scoring a lot of punches. Foul check on Bernard Hopkins. Flagrant foul, another one, and he's going to be disqualified. We seem to get a lot of those disqualifications. It's just something I noticed. Monzon scores with a hook to the chin. Let's see how powerful it was. Hopkins is in serious trouble, it says right there. We're going to have some unopposed punches coming up now. Got to check for the cut. Sorry about that. No cut, but here comes Monzon. He could possibly finish him here in round number 9. Here it comes again. Hopkins is in serious trouble one more time, and we're going to get one more finisher here. Back to his chin with another punch. Hopkins is getting pummeled here. Cross scores, and they go back to normal. Boy, that was quite the segment. Hopkins did not get knocked out, but Monzon still in control, lands a double hook. 15 seconds to go in the round. Hopkins made it. He did not get knocked down, but he was stunned on more than one occasion on those 3 segments. That was a big round for Monzon. Looking forward to see what the unofficial scorekeeper made that a 10-8 round, even though Hopkins did not hit the ground. You don't see that very often. Round 10. Both fighters fighting from the outside. Jockeying for position. No punches thrown. Monzon looking to score more points. Couple of points and a straight punch to the body. Hopkins now in control. Neither fighter's marked up. Scores with a jab. Carlos Monzon with a jab. 1.5 minutes to go. Round number 10. Back to the center of the ring they go. Hopkins wins the exchange in the center of the ring. And he's got control as the referee breaks him up. Hopkins scores with a cross. Both fighters missed with punches. Monzon in control, 35 seconds to go in the round. Cross scores 2 points. And segment number 9, Hopkins will have control. Scores with a jab. Round is over. Unofficial scorekeeper gives that round to Bernard Hopkins. Fight's a little closer as we go to round number 11. Fight is jockeying for position. Monzon now in control. Throws a hook. Hopkins ducks under it. Monzon still in control. Scores with a straight punch. Hopkins gets a chance to throw punch. Let's see what happens. Scores with a jab, possible cut on Monzon. No cut. Nobody's been cut today. Center of the ring, 1:33 seconds. Both fighters score a couple of points. Hopkins now with a chance to pull ahead if they can score here. Jab is missed. 41 seconds to go. Monzon in control. Scores with a jab. Pretty uneventful round after that big round a couple of rounds ago. Hook is missed. Here comes a counter. Monzon scores with a combination, and segment number 9, Monzon gets to add to his round total if he can score, and he missed. Round is over. That's number 11. End of round 11, the official scorekeeper gave that to Monzon. He is slightly ahead on his card, but we do not know what the official scorekeepers have. We're entering round number 12. In round number 12, Hopkins will be fighting inside, Monzon outside. Monzon in control. He's had Hopkins stunned a few times. Monzon had one instance where he's stunned. That counter is scored by Hopkins. Hopkins, after scoring the counter, is in control. Combination to the body, and we got a counter punch to the chin of Hopkins. And he's hurt. We got a few more punches coming unopposed here. Checking for a cut. And there is a cut on Hopkins. His mouth is bleeding. Must be inside. His mouthpiece didn't protect him. Monzon looking to do further damage. The cross scores, but Hopkins back to normal, although a little blood trickling from his corner of his mouth. Monzon in control. 2 minutes to go. Long way to go to the end. Jab scores. Hopkins now in control. Another jab. Not too many big punches. Monzon looking to end this. Misses with a straight punch. We got 48 seconds to go in the round as Hopkins has a chance to score. Uppercut, couple of points. Will it be enough? Maybe, maybe not. Center of the ring. Both fighters miss punches, and last segment of the round, it's going to go to Monzon. Let's see what he does. Straight punch to the chin. With 9 seconds to go, Hopkins was hurt, but the bell is going to sound. We're going to cut check prior to that. No cut. And that is the end of round number 12. That last exchange is going to give Carlos Monzon that round. He's going to start to pull ahead a little bit on the unofficial scorecard. 116, 112. We're in the championship rounds 13, 14, and 15. Still blood trickling out of the corner of Hopkins' mouth. Hopkins now going to put some pressure on Monzon. Monzon's going to stay outside the bell for round 13, and there they go. Referee separates them as they grab. Hopkins looking to score first. Scores with an uppercut. Foul check on Monzon. Another marginal foul. 2 minutes to go in the round. Referee separating them. Not a lot of action here in round number 13. Monzon in control. Scores with a cross. Hopkins in control. Can he even out the round by getting some points? Scores with a hook. 48 seconds to go. Hopkins still in control. Scores with a combination. 2 segments to go. Hopkins in control. Hopkins trying to steal this round. Scores again. To the center of the ring. Both fighters go. And the bell sounds. Ending round 13. Are we going to have another decision? Are we going to go to the scorecards? The unofficial scorecards gave that to Hopkins. 3 points separate them. Monzon 3 points ahead of Hopkins unofficially. 2 rounds to go. The bell for round number 14. Monzon in control. He's had Hopkins hurt several times today. Hopkins looking to score. And he does with a cross. Monzon, I think, is looking to knock him out. Combination scores, but we got an uppercut counter that might have cut Monzon. We check, and he is not cut. Minute 58 to go, round number 14. Hopkins looking to score some points. He does with a cross. Both fighters in the center of the ring. 2 punches scored on each one. Monzon in control. 1 minute to go. Round number 14. Straight punch. Hopkins had been hurt earlier, is doing fine now. Is Monzon still in control? Straight punch. Scores a couple of points. Monzon looking to take this round at the end, but Hopkins in control. If he scores here, could maybe steal a round. And he's got a 2-point combination in the head. 20 seconds to go in the round. Hopkins looking to steal it by scoring some points here. And it's a jab. Scores. The bell sounds. Round 14's over. The next bell for the championship round, number 15. Hopkins looks like he's in a little better shape, but he's still got that blood trickling out of the corner of his mouth. The ringside unofficial scorekeeper gave that to Monzon. I wouldn't have done that. Looks like Hopkins on his card's got to knock him out. There's the bell. Fighters meet at the center of the ring, tap gloves, and we are off to the races. In the center of the ring they are. Hopkins wins that exchange with an uppercut. Hopkins still in control. Throws across, is missed. Doesn't look like we're going to have a knockout tonight. Second week in a row. We're going to go to the scorecards. Exchanging punches in the center of the ring. Fighters still in the center of the ring with 1:46 to go in the fight. Still exchanging punches. Everything's even. Monzon now in control. 1:39 to go. Scores with a cross. Possible damage. No damage. Monzon in control, looking to knock him out, I would think. Scores with a hook. 3 segments to go in the fight. Hopkins in control. No, they're in the center of the ring. fighting for position. 30 seconds to go in the round. Back to the center ring. We are not going to have a knockout tonight. And here's the last segment. Hopkins in control. He will get to throw the last punch of the round. And he connects with a hook. We're going to the judges. Well, what do you think, Philip? I'll wait for a second. The unofficial judge gave it to Monzon. You want to type in who you think might have won the fight? I'll wait about 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to press the button for the official result. Here we go. Official result of the fight. Judge 1 scores it a 43-143 draw. Monzon is going to win a majority decision. That's the first one we've had. Carlos Monzon moves on to the semifinal round. This fight couldn't have been any closer. There's the fight report. Let's take a look at it. There it is. Monzon did the most damage, but as I can see, there's the 10-8 round. That's the round that made the difference. 2 points there, 2 points here, and that was even. If that was a 10-9 round, well, let's just say if Hopkins had won that round, he would have won the fight. That's how close it was. Anyway, thanks for coming by, watching this fight. We're going to close it up. We're going to add the middleweight fight. Monzon wins by majority decision. Last week, Hagler won by unanimous decision. And in the first week, Tiger won when Harry Greb was disqualified. I'm going to write this up. It'll be on my Facebook page. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining me for my Friday night fights. We will see you on Sunday for my Red Sox podcast, so you think you know the Boston Red Sox. And I might depends what I have to do over the weekend, I might get another series done in my Red Sox historical replay. If not, we'll do it on Tuesday. Anyway, thanks for coming by. See you all over the weekend.